everyone, it's Samantha again on Embracing the Divine Feminine, and today we're going to be talking about the heart chakra. We're moving down on the series. The heart chakra is here in the chest, right here in the center of the chest. Like I say, this is the fourth chakra. It has to do with compassion, connection, and love, not only to other people, but to ourselves, okay? And sometimes this is the bridge between physical and spirituality. The way I connect, the easiest way for me to connect to my heart is through sound. And I'm just gonna go straight here today and we'll talk a little bit more about it. You know what's so interesting is I had a whole set of bowls, and so my first set that I ever got after I was trained, and for some reason the heart chakra bowl broke one time, but it never sounded right. Like when I started playing it, it just sounded like it had a chip in it, or it was something strange. So anyway, that broke and I ended up getting another one. And so for like over a year and a half, I had been transporting this heart chakra bowl in a box separately from all other instruments. Well, I used that whole set for over a year and a half, and I learned on it. I got to practice on it with, a bunch of sound baths and things, and it was just spectacular. I really had great results. Well, I always make sure that I put my bowls away because I have a cat, and well, I kept my bowl in my box on my dresser. Now, I just did not think he would get up there. And well, he did. And since it's a little kitty, he couldn't get up there very well. And so he knocked it off and broke it. So you would think I would be really upset or really bummed out about that. But what I realized, that things happen for a reason. And that bowl, for some reason, never really fit. Like it had a great tone and everything, but I just could tell with the other bowls, it just didn't fit. And so I bought a whole new set, and I'm so excited. And I have this heart chakra bowl. Green represents the heart chakra. And I feel it every time I go anywhere and I see like a beautiful lawn, or say like in Tennessee, the rolling hills, and they're so green, and all the trees and pine trees, any kind of tree in the greenery just really makes me feel love in my heart. I don't know if it does for you. But anyway, I just wanted to play this bowl. Let's play it really quick and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. So here's the chime. I would like to see if you feel anything within you. First, again, we'll start with our breaths. And we really want to try to be present when we are with the bowls, okay? So we're just going to take 3 breaths in and then we'll begin. Okay, ready? Here we go. Big breath in and exhale. Again, big breath in, exhale, big breath in and exhale. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll call ourselves back into our body. I call myself fully back into my body September 10th, 2025. Big breath. And exhale. And now I can feel in my toes tingling, so I know I'm fully within my body. But you can do that a couple more times if you don't feel that little tingling and knowing that you're fully in your body, okay? The reason we want to do this and be embodied is because when we get too high up here and we're thinking in our head, we're not really able to bring our breathing into check to keep the nervous system in balance. And so that's what's so great about sound bowls is it bypasses the subconscious, and we can get out in there and we can clear out past traumas, and we don't even have to think about it. We can just lay there. So it's really amazing. But anyway, I would like you to feel this bowl, so please listen. I would love to hear your comments below. And let's see if you feel this in your heart. Okay, I'm going to chime it a few times. Sometimes we can get blocks here and just just picture that breaking up and releasing bubbles, like effervescent bubbles. Okay, here we go. And oh, this is singing. Now I can really feel this in my heart, and this bowl sings really, really well. And then I can combine it with other bowls. So when I want to clear the heart chakra, I can really focus on it with the chiming and the singing, but I like to add in other elements such as the sacral and the heart, because you get, you know, your mind-heart coherence, and the sacral and heart really connect well for love and relationships and things like that. So I can combine instruments in all kinds of different ways, and the way I do it is more intuitively. I was trained a certain way. Actually, they allowed us to be intuitive, which is great because I play by feel and sound, and then I combine sounds based on what I'm looking for. So like tonight, I have a sound bath for the 9-9 portal. We are still in the 9-9 portal. I also had one last night for the 9-9 portal. But the thing that's so great about the portals and things like this is I can play to what's happening in the portal. So like for the 9-9 portal, it's for completion, release, and renewal. And so that's what we'll be working on tonight in the sound bath. Now, you guys don't even have to know that. You can just lay there and feel the love that I send you through the bowls. And I don't just have bowls, I have gongs and Tibetan bowls and all kinds of different instruments. But these have specific hertz that speak to our specific chakras, and this happens to be the heart chakra. And I'm going to be making some magic with that. So I hope to see you tonight on that one. It's at 7 p.m. So you'll see that in the description. Anyway, let's get back to the heart chakra. Remember, I've talked to you before about the feelings buried alive, never die. And the one I wanted to bring up today was hardened arteries. Because people that have been hurt before and they try to protect their heart and guard it, can end up with heart issues, okay? And I just wanted to read this hardening of the arteries. So, fears of being disappointed, hard-hearted, okay? Now that would happen from past hurts that somebody tries to protect themselves. Feeling obstructed or delayed in life. They have unresolved feelings obscuring the flow of life, and perfectionism, okay? So anytime, that's just a balance thing, right? This is the best thing about sound, is that we can get the body into resonance, okay? Resonance, balance, same thing. So what happens if we're off balance? So say we're working too much or too little, okay? That's not balance. That means, you know, we could be lazy on one side and overworking on another side. That's not balance. So it's good to, you know, you have some work and you have some playtime. That's balance, okay? So think about that with perfectionism and how hard people can be on themselves, and how it would harden your heart and your arteries because you expect so much from yourself. And we know that no one's perfect. So a lot of that comes from childhood trauma. So, you know, you can work on that and embrace your inner child. Now, we can talk more about that later. This is mostly about the sound bath. And know that these sound baths can help a lot of these things. They help emotions come up without you even having to consciously know it. That is the best thing. So anyway, like I say, I really don't memorize things anymore. So the big thing about this particular chakra is it is the bridge between the spiritual and emotional chakras. It harmonizes our earthly needs with the cosmic aspirations and higher aspirations in life. It governs our capacity to love deeply, to connect with others, to forgive freely and connect authentically. You know, that is the biggest thing right now that I have been working on. I feel like I've been pretty authentic in my entire life, but there have been times where I felt like I had to hide the real me, and that was just from trauma, you know. So I don't know. We will keep working on this as we go with the childhood trauma, but the best thing to do is embrace your inner child. Just let them know that they're loved, and know that sound is one of the easiest ways to help move some of these emotions. So when we're balanced, when we're balanced, we feel empathy, inner peace, and a sense of universal love. We feel great because we're balanced. When we're unbalanced, or when things are blocked, we can experience jealousy, isolation, hate even, and difficulty in your relationships. So sometimes it's not always easy to tell what is happening in your body. But what I've been finding is that when I ask myself a question about a trigger, especially, so say somebody says something to me, or they do something to me, or say they said something and then they don't do it, okay? So this is just a disconnect, and what it does when I have this trigger, meaning I get upset right away about it. Either I feel it somewhere in my body. Sometimes it's my heart, sometimes it's my solar plexus. But anyway, when I get that feeling, you know, of course I'm going to react the way I react at the time, but I'm getting better at looking at it overall after the situation to understand what caused that trigger within me. Okay. And I've been realizing that. I've been doing it over probably the last month. Is anytime I have something trigger me that makes me feel mad, sad, a sense of grief or anything like that, I just kind of take a look at it and say, what is it within that triggered me? So it could have been somebody when you were a child made you feel small or not seen. It could be any of these things. So I've just been looking at that and saying, thank you for bringing that to my attention, and I forgive you. I send you love, and I send you on the way. So, and it has helped so much, because these are just old things, old scared parts that are coming to the light, and they need the light to be seen and released. So I know it sounds easier than it really is. And sometimes I have to ask my partner to help me, because when it is within me, it is a lot harder to see. So, you know, if you ever want to discuss anything, I would love to chat with you. Reach out to me. I would love to see your comments on this and how it relates to you. Have you ever felt anything within your heart chakra? You know, have you felt that trigger when somebody says something that makes you sad or upsets you, or brings up something from, you know, your childhood that, you know, people used to call you something like, you know, oh, you're so skinny, or excuse me, like some people I know, like their family told them they were dumb, you know? So these things can manifest later, and we're constantly dealing with that in our interactions with people. So that's why the triggers are so important to watch for. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. That is the Heart Chakra Bowl. Pretty soon here we have a couple more chakras to go through for me to introduce you to the bowls, and then we're going to get into the good stuff and start creating music. So I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.